Good morning, stock fans. This is modified Darvas box MDB, and it is May 5th, Sunday, at 9:44 a.m. And I decided it's time to do a monthly chart review because it's the beginning of May, and you know my core viewing is weekly charts, but so many people ignore monthly charts, and yet monthly charts can be so important. There can be trade ideas listed on the monthly charts which everyone on the daily and or weekly charts miss. So at the end of every month, what I do is I sit down and I go through the monthly charts. And I think it's a valuable exercise, and hopefully after this video, you think so too. For anybody who's never watched one of my videos, I am an independent trader, investor, and I've built a unique stock trading system based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvas. And also I've added elements of the strategy and blended them together and made my own unique system. And as you can see on the charts, I've got box ranges drawn. I've got different colors, like these gray bars here are inside bars. Inside bars are where the range is inside the prior bar. And in other charts, I'll show you I've got different colors as well. Uh, I use the colors to help signal, uh, signals that will help guide me to making decisions as to whether to buy or sell in the market. And the one thing about signals is that signals are important. Yes, they highlight something potential to do, but it's really the reaction to the signal, which is the trigger for whether you should take action or not. So, really, the reaction to the signal is more important than the signal itself. But let's get into the charts and we'll take a look. So, I've started here on weekly charts, and we're going to switch to monthly charts. Yay! And I've got my stocks in 6 different lists here, and I keep track of them on this. We always start with indexes to get a sense of what's going on out there. But yeah, it's really an interesting new perspective when you look at charts on the monthly view. And in fact, you could take it steps further and look at quarterly or even yearly views. There's a lot of different options out there. The program I use is TC2000. I think it's a very uh, powerful program. It's a wonderful program. I've been using it for years and years. I don't think I'd ever change. It's just fabulous. I love it. So let's get into this. And we start here with the AMZ. That's an MLP index. And you'll see here, I don't really have any boxes drawn. Do I have the right? No, I've got, there we go. Would help if I actually showed them, huh? So we've got some boxes drawn here, here, and here. And the latest, well, I've got rules for how you draw a box that are consistent on both the weekly charts, and I use the exact same rules to draw them on the monthly charts. That's one of the keys for building your trading system. Be consistent. If you're not consistent on how you do things in every time frame, well, you're going to struggle because it's like constantly jumping around. If you constantly jump around, you're just not going to be able to find things. And so doing it in the same way is extremely helpful. So the last thing we've got here is a box breakout. Nice, wonderful trend here. And I own some of these in my income portfolio. Just you just gotta love a nice steady trend. Okay, so ARC, I don't recommend anybody own it, but I use it for showing different colors. Here's back to weekly view. So like different colors I mentioned. We got light gray for inside bars. We've got blue for sort of bullish pay attention bars. Pink pay attention bars. The difference between the blue and the pink is the bias, the bar closed. Like pinks are have a bearish tendency, blues have a bullish tendency. We've got yellow buy signals right here. We've got white sell signals. But again, like I was telling you, signals are just signals. They're to prep you to possibly take action. But the reaction to them is where, the money is made. White bar sell signal here. Well, it was followed up by a very bullish yellow bar signal. And then that was followed up with a red selling bar. So really, was there any signal that stuck? No. If you traded any of these, you probably didn't make any money or you got stopped out. And look at the trend. It went sideways for the next several months. And signal reactions, sometimes you can expect different reactions, but the reaction is always different. Like usually when you get a blue signal, you have a sell-off week here, but not always because it's the stock market and things are never 100%. But either way, that's how I use signals on my charts, and I use colors to help me find them and interpret. So here we have ARC, and we got a box here. We had a potential box breakout, which makes sense because that's when the market really took off. But then it didn't really go anywhere, and now it's working on an inside month, but no signals here. And to help go through these lists quickly, I'm looking mostly here at the right side because I'm not really all that concerned about what happened, months and years ago. But sometimes I am, but for the most part, I'm looking here on the right side. BZJ, this is an approximation for oil. Let's see, sort of a box breakout-ish, been not doing a whole lot, but that's up, trend is up. NASDAQ, okay. Big Darvas box here, and then this one, because it was a big one, there was room here for a little box on the inside. Both have resolved bullishly. There's the box breakout on big volume. A couple months before, box breakout, big volume. And there's your yellow bar signal to start the trend. So it's been going up since, what month was that? That was May. So it's been about a year, and we've had basically a nice uptrend, a little dip here, but looking good. Right now it's working on an inside bar, but it's only, the beginning of May, so that could resolve either way, up or down. This is not a signal, by the way, because it's not locked in yet. This has another 25 days, 26 days to go before this locks in and becomes a signal. I'm looking at bar number 2 right here. That's the signal bar. All right, anything on this one? Nope. And by the way, this is forming a box. We can see here we got some highs, but the lows are still sort of in flux. I like a couple of bars to show the lows, but I do have some specific rules on how I draw boxes. Price bars have to do certain things in order for me to consider starting a box range. FFTY, there's your bull market breakout right there. Went up, came back down, now it isn't really doing anything. It wasn't a primary leader anyways. China, came from China. Nothing there. Here's Bitcoin. This was a wonderful monthly box right here. Big breakout right here, and look at that uptrend. That's what I'm looking for. And sadly, I caught a chunk of this, but then I missed another chunk of it. I'll show you on the weekly. I caught it from right here where I was a buyer, sold it here, and then tragically, I didn't buy back right here. It was the volume. I misinterpreted the volume. I thought this here is a signal, as you can see, and there's a reaction. I mistook the red reaction bar as it's over, but the fact that it had another big green volume, that's where the mistake occurred. I misinterpreted that as, no big deal, when really it was buyers saying, no, 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 we still want this. We're still coming. And look what it did. And on the weekly, it's forming a box, but nothing's wrong with it. On the monthly, it's still considered an uptrend. And that's the difference why you look at different time frames. And look, any big selling? No, not really. Bitcoin's just resting at this point. Who knows? Maybe probably it's going to go higher. That's how I interpret it. Okay, gold. This here, this color, this orange is a what's called a shooter bar. That's what it's called. It's an inverse hammer. These tend to be bearish, but the trigger line is roughly somewhere here along the bottom. Has that triggered? No, it has not. So you get a bearish signal, but then a bullish sort of opening. Should you be selling your gold if you bought it earlier? No. Based on the monthly chart, absolutely not. There's your yellow bar starting gun right there, and it's been going up nicely there. High yield bonds, yeah, roughly bullish. Nothing too bearish. Although notice here the big volume last month, but hasn't getting crushed or anything. No new boxes. Software, interesting. Look where it stops. Prior highs. Stopped here. Inside bar, it broke down to the downside. And now it's sort of hanging out. And if you look at the weekly, you see it had a box breakdown and it hasn't really recovered much. And you see this is how looking at multiple time frames helps you understand what what may be going on. Should you trade something? Well, maybe the weekly says yes, but what if the monthly says absolutely not? That's something to consider, huh? Housing, nothing there. Oh, that's a bull market, but again, forming a bar, Interesting, nothing new. What is this, IWM? They got all excited on this little breakout, then doink, gave it right back up. Nothing going on there. Healthcare. There's a box breakout. It is still in an uptrend, even though it's had a vicious pullback. That prick Obama turned healthcare upside down for everybody, for consumers, but it sure benefited companies. And, technically this is still in an uptrend, but on the weekly, yeah, it's been having some problems here. But it's always good to look at the monthly view. Do we have any trades here? No. But we can tell a little bit more what's going on. Failure there. What is this? Oh, NASDAQ equal weighted, struggling. It failed the breakout right there, but now it's sort of trying to hang on. This bear's watching. Fizz, this is gold. I own this one. There's a signal, trigger, hasn't triggered. And this is also good for if you're going to hold stocks for a longer time frame. Like maybe you want to hold. I want to hold for as long as possible. I actually don't really like trading, transacting, because it's risky and you're liable to make mistakes. Whereas here, I'm long right about in here. Let's show you on the weekly. I'm long right there. That's 16 level. So right about here. I've owned it a couple months now. Do I want to be selling here? No, absolutely not. Here, I'll put a little color blue for owning, for buying. But yeah, based on the monthly chart, do I want to be selling? No, absolutely not. I want to be in this. It's in an uptrend. May not seem like that today, but trust me, it's in an uptrend. QQQs, nice move, but no big volume. We'll see what happens. RSP, same deal. But this had a nice box breakout here. But look at the volume. Boy, it's had a lot of volume, huh? But overall, is the market super duper bearish? No. What was that? Shy? Yeah. Short-term bonds, sideways. Yeah. Any signals? Whoop, these are sentiment indicators. The tan. Eh. Notice these are in box ranges, and they match the box ranges on the weekly. See, it's in harmony, going sideways. Treasuries, look at that. You had a signal right here, an inside month, and it broke down. So treasuries are bearish, even if it might have a good positive day, but the trend is bearish. Failed signal, bearish signal in uranium. If this hits, there was that trigger line. If this hits the top one, well, then you may really want to be buying uranium. I think uranium's kind of a niche thing, but it is what it is. You know, you may think commercial housing REITs are horrible. Now they're just going sideways. Housing up. Energy, that's a box breakout, but a slim one. No real volume on it, though. Same with that. And we're done with that one. Let's go to list two. List two is the top performers in the market. These charts should be the best of the best. And you know what's interesting is when you find a box range like this, you've got maybe a trigger spot of 225. You go to the weekly, where's 225? It corresponds with something right here. Look at that. Good amount of harmony. Moving up. This one's been a wonderful one since the yellow bar buy signal here. Yeah, you had to sit for a few months in this, but look at this. Just keeps going up. Better one is if you look at like a yearly chart or a quarterly. Just keeps going up. This one right here, nice IPO. Box breakout on big volume. This one's probably definitely going higher. Nice trend there. Look here. Inside month last week. Yeah, you're looking for trades. If it hits there, buy it. And it's getting really close. We'll set an alert because I want to know. Here you go. Box breakout on this one, CPNG. Everyone was talking about this one. Did you buy it? Are you long? I'm not long it, but I know people who are. I've got a different one that's roughly in the same area. Carvana. Now, notice here, we got a box here, but when you look at the chart, look for interesting stuff. Look at that huge volume. Did buyers know what they were doing? They sure did. You look at the yearly. There's a inside bar. Look here. Quarterly. Green, green, green. Look what it's done ever since. If you pay attention like that, you can see stuff on the long term. What do we got here? Solar. Most of these are going to be bullish. Oh, there's a big box breakout right there. Ooh, anything here? No, just uptrends. These are powerful stocks. Qualcomm, look at that. Uptrend. SE, I own this one. And look, there was a bear shooter bar right here. But look at that. There's a potential buy signal right there. So if you bought it, darn bar, there you go. If you bought this at like 63, that's not a bad spot. It's only at 66. There's still time. Look at this one, SMTC. I don't know this, but that is a big Darvas box breakout on the monthly. Put that on your radar. This one, not much going on there. I own this one, but there's no real formations on that. Let's go to list 3. List 3 is stuff that's bullish but not perfect. My core view is weekly, so I don't really rearrange for monthly. I just leave it alone. Apple. Everybody's talking about Apple. What has Apple done on the monthly? It's just simply gone sideways on a Darvas box. It threatened the lows here. The lows held. Now it's going back up. But is it doing anything exciting? No. Not per the monthly. Anything there? No. This here is inside month. Basically, when you see inside, just draw some triggers. If it hits, great. Let's alert me on here. On the bottom one, I'm not really all that concerned about it. So I'm not going to alert it on the bottom. Amazon, no signals. Here's a signal, APP. Lovely box breakout right here. There's a bearish signal right there. And there's your bull signal right there. See how easy this is? Most people don't or are unwilling to. CCJ, there's your uranium poking its head up. Coin. This will interest Bitcoin people. So there's the low. It triggered to the downside, but it didn't hold. But you'd better pay attention to that level. Now on the flip side, if it goes to the top, well then, they'll be rejoicing on that. But at the moment, coin is a tad bearish. There we go. Well, I won't call it bearish, but it did trigger to the downside, but it was very short-lived for the moment. Anything here? There's your signal in CRWD. If you bought it here, well, look at that. But if you bought it here, did you really know it was going to do all this? No, you'd be buying on the signal. And I'm a big proponent of if you buy it on the monthly signal, then you got to hold it until you get a contrary monthly signal. If that was the case, then this would be a potential exit. Otherwise, you'd be long. So if you buy on daily, look for a daily signal. If you buy on weekly, look for a weekly signal, etc., etc. Anything going on here? Nope. Nope, just more uptrends. There's the box breakout there. Blue. A pink. JP Morgan. Pink means pay attention. It had a bearish bias, but it doesn't mean that it's time to bail. It just means pay attention. And right now it's sort of going sideways. So this may be a nothing burger. But it's always good to pay attention. More lovely uptrends. Here's NVIDIA. Oh, I didn't mark this. Box breakout. Look at it going higher. Signals. Here was one, PLTR. PLTR has earnings this week. Tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with this. There's no signals or anything. It's got a box breakout. So probably it's going to go higher. That would be my guess. Higher. Why is this down here? That should be right there. Big box breakout here. Yellow bar signal here. But then a pink pay attention there. And yeah, why is that a monthly chart? That shouldn't be like there. I think I drew it prematurely, or maybe that was the weekly, and it's on the wrong. That should not be there. On TC2000, you can put different uh, signals here on different boards to keep them all straight. So number 6 is for monthly. That's all that is. So is there a box in here? No, there is not. There is basically right there, little trigger. Lovely. This one is just amazing. 2 big signals in a row back here, and look what it did ever since. Gorgeous, huh? This is what you want to find. This is why I look at monthly charts. I want to see the signals that are hopefully going to guide me into the next big winners. Now here's a bearish signal which triggered a shooter bar right here. That's a successful trigger. Oop. And it went downside. And that's it for list 3. Let's get to list 4. And you know, looking on this time frame should go much faster than other ones because there's just less to look at. There's less to absorb. No signals here on AMD monthly, but you go to weekly, there's a big signal right there. So it is what it is. But multiple time frame analysis can be very helpful. Oh, Mr. Bill. I am short Mr. Bill. And I shorted it on Friday. And does that look bullish to you? Nope. And let me tell you something. There's a saying. What's on the upper right-hand part of the chart tends to keep going to the upper right part of the chart. What's in the lower part of the chart tends to keep going to the lower part of the chart. Or something like that. So being short this one, I think, is going to pay off, but we'll see what happens. Anything here? No. Just nice box breakout, moving up. You don't need to be like a daily chart trader. You can be a monthly chart trader. It doesn't matter. By the way, sell H, there's a bearish shooter bar which triggered, result of the downside. I don't know if I'd be super duper bullish on this one. Currently, this is a negative chart for me. Dash, I sold Dash recently up here. I'd love to say it was from skill, but no, it was more luck. They announced some news which I disagreed with. Deck, look at that. Here's some signals right here, and the rest is history. Now this is interesting. I own this one. Monthly signal right here, but it hasn't triggered to the downside, but boy, it came close. I was put to a real decision. Do I keep it or do I hold it? I've held it, but woof, that came very close. So we'll see. They've got earnings this week, so maybe I'm going to regret not taking up on that. I don't know. One thing about box breakouts, when a breakout occurs on a monthly, it's very nice to have the volume, but it's not necessary. Because look at that, they can work irregardless. Where's the volume on this? Well, there's no volume here. There was volume on the weekly chart, but either way, it's moving up nicely. Net. This one I've recommended as a short sale. I shorted it on Friday. I think there's a lot of negative factors going on with this. I think the biggest laughable thing is it's got a market cap of $30 billion. I'll take your eyes up here. But, you know, I came up with a thesis. I think it's accurate. Then you place your trade, then you see what happens. And if I'm wrong, okay, well, I'm wrong. But that's the thing, you got to try. Oh, steel. There's a pink bar, pay attention. This is an interesting one because does this signal that the economy is slowing down? I don't know. But this might be a big signal. We'll see. Anything here? No, a lot of sideways. Look here, Oracle had a box breakout, but it gave it up the next, and now it's sort of just struggling. Here's an example of signals. Yellow bar buy signal. Yay, super bullish. Yeah, no, that's wrong. White bar sell signal here, that's bearish. So far the reaction is sort of muted. So you had a little shake and bake in here, but no permanent damage at the moment. Root, everybody knows root. Look at this. Huge box breakout, yellow bar signal. It's gone up, but now it's coming back down. I don't really know what's quite going on with it, but you can see it on the monthly charts. SQ going sideways. Oh, any other signals? Nope. There we go. Fix that one. Yeah. Look at this. Green, 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 green. You think they're bullish on this one? This is energy. I own some of this. I'd say long term, investors are very bullish on it. So it's having a quiet month. Big deal. This one's probably going higher. This one here, I'm short it, but I might be covering it soon. All right, let's go to list 5. List 5 are the worst of the worst. These charts should be awful, and should be able to flip through them pretty quick. Yep, you got right here AOY. There's so many bearish signals in this. You had an inside bar here, which did trigger the downside, but didn't quite end up there. It then flipped to a bearish shooter bar here, but it didn't trigger, but it simply created another inside month. There's your trigger, and there is your downside. At this point, yeah, I don't think I'd want to own this. Now, back to this chart. The only saving grace here that I see is look at all the big green volumes. So far, the only one that people have bailed was here. So right now, there's no big giant reds. They haven't pulled the plug on it yet. But I'll stress the word yet. Any signals, here's a box breakdown, but look at that. It's sort of hanging around. Arm, I'm short arm. There's a signal right here. Now I'm short up here in the 137. But look at this on the monthly. The low here is 121. It's got earnings this week, so we'll see what happens. But at the moment, I'm not concerned at all. Going sideways here. Let's make this one bigger. There we go. I keep track of some stocks that I have no intention of trading just because I want to keep an eye on them, just in case. Now, notice this, bros. Big, long, sideways box. Had a shake and bake, undercut and recovery right in here. But it had some green upside, but Unfortunately, it's given it up and coming back down. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Like this one, Globe, I have no real intention of trading it, but I want to keep an eye on it because as time goes by, maybe things change. Eh, box breakout here, then a failure bar here. So is there anything special going on here? Nope. But I want to keep an eye on it. Exact same deal. Anything special going on? Nope. But I want to keep an eye on it. Ah, this one. This is a big screw up, which I had. I'd been long, and there was a signal to sell both on the monthly and on the weekly. Right here, I had bought back here in November. There, I should have sold right here, and I didn't, and it cost me over the span of 2 weeks about 30 points or so. Just so annoying. But you know what? I cannot say that the market didn't give me a signal to use. So it's all my fault on that one. More sideways here. Well, I'm going to fix a lot of these here. Something like this. There we go. I like that one. Again, I'm looking for any signals from last month. I'm not worried about the current month. I'm looking for last month. There's a bearish downward resolution right there. Let's make this box bigger, longer. Anything going on here? Nope. Anything to get excited about? Right here, there was a bearish signal a couple months ago in shop, but it didn't really drop, and now it's been hanging around. I tried shorting it, but it's got earnings this week, so we'll see how that goes. I have no position. Here's our favorite SMCI. It's bearish on the weekly, but that's still bullish on the monthly. T-Doc. Nobody should own T-Doc. Uber. There's your start signal. Formed a box. Went up. It's been probably on a monthly view going sideways now. Upstart. What did they do? Gee, I don't know. You're breaking up. Anything going on here? Nope, nothing. All right, let's wrap this up. Final list. There we go. Final list here. Anything. Oh, here's something. Coal. Look at that. It's like a mini box. Going sideways. And you know what's interesting? AMR is coal that, if I recall, is coal used in steel making. We know that NUE had a pink bar signal. So is that the customer and the supplier right there? Currently, the supplier is thinking things are okay, but I don't know. Any signals? Nope. Ah, pink. Ooh, caterpillar. Oh, that might be a bearish signal for cat. Again, if the economy is slowing down, that's something to keep an eye on. You know, going back to Costco here, There's this shooter bar right here. It triggered briefly, but now it's holding above it. We go to the weekly. Yeah, you see it's formed a nice, there's the pink bar. It's formed a nice sideways box there. Now, it's not long enough here on the monthly, but see, it all makes sense. It all flows one to another. Look at that. Yellow, yellow. Not bad. The dogger. Ooh, sideways. There's a lot of sideways. DJT, Donald, love you, but nope, no trades here. Nothing, nothing. Anything there? Nope. Elf reports in a couple of weeks. See what happens. Note here, one thing that's concerning, when you take in a chart, yeah, you're looking at the prices, but you got to look at the volume also. Does this look a little concerning? Why did they bail from on this chart? And look, it's the biggest volume on the monthly. So people are very concerned about this. That's how I interpret it. There's a lot of concern here. Now, I used to own ELF. I don't have it now. I owned it from down here and I sold it somewhere up in here. Another flub where I should have taken the signals here, but I didn't and I got out of it there. But based on this, I'd say it's a good thing I'm out. There's a lot of concern which has come up last month. Anything there? Well, box breakout hanging around. Whoop. Yellow bar, white bar sell signal here on Ford. But so far the reaction to this has been, no, it's okay. There's some potential. We'll put an alert there. GE, look how phenomenal this is. There's your launch signal here, and away you go. It had another one here, but it didn't really go anywhere. But see, I circled them. I want to pay attention to them. Hood, this one looks pretty decent. Reports earnings on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. But again, potential signals. Setting alerts. And I use alerts all the time. Don't be shy on alerts. Facebook. Pink bar, pay attention. Oh, reaction's kind of muted, so there's your signal if something's really going to get out of whack. Two sell signals right here on Snowflake, here and here. I shorted them. I covered recently. Now it's sort of making up its mind. What's it going to do? This is a pretty huge Darvas box, so it'll probably get resolved at some point in the years to come, but we shall see. Spot, there's a signal, but reaction has been muted. Same here, Tesla. Box breakdown, but there's a bullish bar here. That's a hammer. If price can get back above there, look out, then Tesla will be back. And that's about it. There's no other signals I can see. So the message I'll give you is review your monthly charts, review other charts, and maybe you learn something new about the stocks you're trading. All right, have a good week. Talk to you soon. Bye.